the biggest challenger, and I actually think this team is being a little disrespected, is the Tennessee Titans. We talked just a couple months ago maybe about teams that were in the running for Caleb Williams, and a lot of people mentioned the Titans. But I look up and down this roster right now, and I mean there are reasons to be concerned, but you have to remember they were 7-3, and then of course Tannehill had all these injuries. Malik Willis wasn't that good. But if we zoom back on the Titans, they have a new GM this year. Rand Carthen comes in from the 49ers. Derrick Henry has basically been the offense for the past few years. He reminds me a little bit of Adrian Peterson when he was with the Vikings. It's just everything's on his shoulders. We made that video about the Titans receivers or country singers for a reason. Like Westbrook-Akine and Treylon Burks, they were okay last year. But beyond that, heading into the season, before getting DeAndre Hopkins, there's Chris Moore, Kyle Phillips, Colton Dowell. Like, it's fun when we talk about, are they a country singer or a Titans receiver? But at the end of the day, there's just no depth there. Like, there's a reason we made that video. So they go out and they bring in DeAndre Hopkins just recently, 2-year, $26 million deal. And he should be a huge asset for Ryan Tannehill. Like, Tannehill wasn't good last year by any means. It was his worst season with the Titans. But in 2020, he threw for 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. They went 11-5. And just 2 years ago in 2021, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC, sitting at 12-5. So this Titans team recently they were very good, and they have a great coach in Mike Vrabel. Am I crazy, Ziggy? Or looking at Tennessee and saying they could legitimately win this division is very much on the table?
It is very tough to be excited about a team that lost their last 7 games.
It is.
And it's, on the one hand, you can take the Vrabel approach and say, look, last year we lost 6 games by 1 score. If we can just play a little bit better, the secondary can generate just a little more turnover. If we can have just a slightly better offense, maybe we can win some of those. And the Titans were sort of at the edge, right? People were wondering, are they going to trade Derrick Henry? Are they going to trade Tannehill? And it seems like they just weren't excited with what the trade market was looking like and decided to run it back. But this is definitely a team teetering on the edge. Now, there are things to be excited about, right? As you say, they got DeAndre Hopkins. I think there's no question that Treylon Burks is going to be able to take a step forward. He was good last year. He could be great this year and make the A.J. Brown trade look a little less miserable.
Man, that looks so bad right now.
Yeah, maybe they'll figure out the left tackle situation, right? Skoronski's practicing both a tackle and a guard. Maybe Dillard will step in a tackle. Doesn't really matter. The problem is that their defense was the worst in the league against the pass. It doesn't matter how good you are against the run if you can't stop the pass. Mm-hmm. And on the flip side, it doesn't matter how good you are at running the ball if you can't pass the ball. So the Titans just feel like they're built for a different NFL right now, and they need a lot of things to go right to overcome that.
Yeah, you mentioned they were last in the league in passing yards, or I'm sorry, they were 30th in the league in passing yards per game.
And they were last in giving up passing yards.
And, to be fair, if we're going to look first on the offensive side, like their passing attack, it's not like they were lighting it up in 2020 or 2021 when they were, winning 11, 12 games. They were still like towards the bottom end of the league in that. It's just last year in particular, Robert Woods led the team with 527 yards, and he played 17 games. So, like, DeAndre Hopkins coming in, he had 717 yards in 9 games. Like, he should be able to be a huge adjustment. A huge benefit for Ryan Tannehill, who was playing last year. Again, what was the one thing he didn't have from 2022 versus 2020, 2021? It was A.J. Brown, that horrible deal. I'm still worried, Ziggy. Like you said, the Titans kind of play in a different era of NFL right now. Their run defense is amazing. It really is great. And their rushing attack with Derrick Henry, hard to get better than that. But defensively, man, that secondary is just going to get picked apart again this year.
No, maybe like Caleb Farley is going to be able to take a step forward, finally stop getting injured and play some games. Right? Maybe some of the 49ers guys they added Arden Key and Azeez Al-Shahir, maybe they'll step in and take over. But the Titans, the defense, it feels like they're living on a prayer at this point, unless they can really improve the turnovers. Like, they've got some excellent players, right? Like Jeffrey Simmons, excellent player, but they don't have enough around these guys.
The interior D-line is really good with Simmons, Tart, and Autry. But then if you look at the farther you go back, it's really like the worse it gets. And Sean Murphy Bunting comes in from Tampa Bay. We'll see. I always thought he was solid there with the Buccaneers, but there's just a lot of pieces a lot of problems that haven't been fixed defensively. So we'll see. But again, I do look at this team. I mean, I know we're talking quite negatively about them. I look at them right now and I'm thinking to myself, defensively, they're not that much worse than the Jaguars. I mean, some people might even say they're a little better. The secondary for me is a reason I'd say no. But if we're looking at the offenses, yeah, Jacksonville should be better. But if Ryan Tannehill can recapture the form he had in 2020, I mean, this team isn't that far behind Jacksonville. I can see Jacksonville being a little overrated.
They were playing Jacksonville in a must-win playoff game, Week 17 last year. I would just say Week 18, excuse me. Yeah, did they play Dobbs that game?
Dobbs played, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you one player who I feel like folks aren't talking enough about the Titans getting back is Harold Landry. Right? Remember, he signed that mega deal coming off his 12.5 sack season. A huge difference maker at outside linebacker. Unfortunately, tore his ACL in the summer last year. If he comes back and plays like the old Harold Landry, you can get some pass pressure, help out the secondary a little bit. Maybe your run-first offense starts to look a little bit better. Like, if things go right for the Titans, they could be a good team this year. I can't see them hanging with the Bengals, the Bills, or the Chiefs. No, they could make the playoffs.
Me neither. Well, I mean, at one point you said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had them as your 1 seed at one point this offseason.
You mean the number 1 overall pick?
No, you had them as the number 1, predicted them to come in first in the AFC.
Oh, in the AFC South? Or the AFC?
I'm pretty sure we can go back and see video of you saying they're my sleeper pick to be the number 1 seed. We're gonna have to go back and try and find footage of that.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find that reel. I'd be surprised if I said that, though I doubt you're making it up. I mean, look, they've got an easy schedule.
Now he's gonna turn on the Jaguars.
Well, I think it's extremely unlikely. They've got an easy schedule. The other teams and top teams at least have a hard schedule for the most part. But no, I mean, I think this team should be very happy if they win 10 games next year. I don't see them doing much better than that.